dojo, dark mage in the house with the sick flow. You are now listening to Evil Dojo. Dark Mage in the house with the sick flow. You are now listening to Evil Dojo. Dark Mage in the house with the sick flow.
Hey you, I've been looking for you everywhere. So cold, you can't even feel my stare. Why try? I can do the shit anyway. So, cash in hand, we ain't got no time to play. Oh no, no, I can't do this alone. Oh no, no, I need that evil dojo. Oh no, no, where the fuck are you, Dark Mage? Oh yes, baby, I need that evil dojo. Hey you, I've been looking for you everywhere. So cold, you can't even feel my stare. Why try? I can do the shit anyway. So, cash in hand, we ain't got no time to play. Oh no, no, I can't do this alone. Oh no, no, I need that evil dojo. Oh no, no, where the fuck are you, Dark Mage? Oh yes, baby, I need that evil dojo. Oh no, no. Oh no, no. Oh, oh,
And just manifest, you know that's time to flex. No holes in the code when you're the best. You return failure, I return success. Hope you have a restful rest.
I'm the root user, pseudo all your fears. while you're stuck in 404s, upscaling for years. Your stack's the joke, mine's a fortress, no cracks. I'm the kernel of chaos, your system won't last. Hey yo, down with the sick flow. Damn though, already told you though. Debug your ego, it's a memory leak. I'm the garbage collector, I'll purge your week. You're a dangling pointer, I'm the pointer to gold. While you're parsing excuses, I'm breaking the mold. I deploy and prod while you're stuck in dead. Your whole career's a fork with no merge to save. I'm the pull request that you'll never approve, cause your repo's a graveyard and not making moves. Hey yo, down with the sick flow. Damn though, already told you though. I need my motherfucking coffee. Ain't not a person in the world who can stop me. The corporate world is the devil, I am godly. When I got my coffee, I'm the motherfucking top beat. Ain't not a person in the world who can stop me. The corporate world is the devil, I am godly. As long as I got my coffee, I am the motherfucking top beat. I need my motherfucking coffee. Ain't not a person in the world who can stop me. The corporate world is the devil, I am godly. As long as I got my coffee, I am the motherfucking top beat. Motherfucking coffee. Ain't not a person in the world who can stop me. The corporate world is the devil, I am godly. As long as I got my coffee, I am the motherfucking top beat. I need my motherfucking coffee. Ain't not a person in the world who can stop me. The corporate world is the devil, I am godly. As long as I got my coffee, I am the motherfucking top beat. In the world who can stop me? The corporate world is the devil, I am
soul's mine. Faster, your soul's mine. Reload, slaughter, target, sight, locked, death, stacking faster, gamer soul's mine. Target, sight, locked, death, stacking faster. Gamer souls, oh, fucked. Grenade, blast, rage, hail, slaughter, locked, death, stacking faster. Gamers souls, locked. Grenade, blast, rage. Chaos swallows whole. Maps burn, erase, mastery, control. Fear grips the screen. No escape from fate. Warzone carved in red. No desecrate.
Okay. Oof. I'm right here, babe. You want to hang out over here while I pop out my game and stuff? I get tired of listening. I think we're good to go. Check it out. It's not bad, right? I think it looks pretty cool. This particular instance has been running for, holy shit, over 2 hours. It's pretty good. What do you think, Grace? Is that pretty good? I think it looks pretty cool. And programmatically, everything plays together nicely. There's some little nuances that I want to smooth out before we really commit to adding more stuff into this game. Because every additional new thing that I add is going to add so much more complexity that I have to manage. And every piece that I integrate has to play nicely with everything else that's in the system already. Gracie is digging now. That's fucking cute. I think she's happy about it too. It's past her bedtime. Past my bedtime, really. But I haven't been able to do shit all day. I solved a couple small bugs earlier, but ever since I got past this pain point of how do we deal with the animations in terms of animating each individual entity's turn before moving on to like the next turn. What? Wait. Yeah, it's past her bedtime. My room's a mess. But pretty soon I'll be able to fix that. All right, so actually, before I continue, let me change something about the code. Oh, and I just realized if I'm going to be using a composer window, my ASCII cam is a bit big. Let's see. Oh, jeez. What? You want a snack? Here, I'm gonna get you an ice cream. I'm gonna need you to relax. The world has been distracting me all day, Gracie. I was about to get a little bit. All right, I've bought some time. We've got like 5 minutes before she has to either take a break. If we let her lick it for too long, she's gonna finish it. Oh no 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 no. Over here. Okay, so we're gonna temporarily disable that. All right, so here's our whole zone, right? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I told it to make 10. I think there is a bug in my placement algorithm. But that's fine. So we face a critical dilemma with regards to the movement. as you can see, after I make my turn, each of the little green dudes gets to make each of their turns. And this ebb and flow makes logical sense. This is exactly how an IRL D&D game would be processed. You have to go through everybody's turn, and you know, if you have a lot of people playing, everybody gets to make their turn. Now, it is a turn-based game, so naturally you would expect every other entity in the dungeon or in the world to be able to make their action or do something on that turn as well, so that, you know, there's one turn for the whole world, right? But we face a big problem here, is this takes a while. This doesn't feel good because you have to wait so long to be able to input your turn again. Previously, we were doing this kind of thing where like in lib game, originally we were doing this thing where we were rendering everyone's turn all at the same time. And this was actually how that bug that I just overcame emerged to begin with. Because if two entities are attacking each other and the first attack hits and the second attack hits, we wanted to sequentially animate that in a way so that it doesn't appear like their final animation states were being triggered at the same time. In other words, both of the sprites were appearing to be damaged and their attack animations were never playing. So we overcame that with a little help. And it was kind of a variant on a solution that I'd played around with before. But now we face this other dilemma, where as a result of this new solution, we are going to end up exponentially having to wait longer and longer and longer. And I can demonstrate this. This is going to be very painful, but we have to go through this. Because I'm going to end up feeding this into the LLM in order to get some ideas on a solution, because there is a game that implements a solution that I'd like to kind of figure out. So first things first, we're going to make this just a little bit bigger. Now, we only had 10 or 9, and we still only have them, right? And you can see we can actually make some really big zones. Say I want to make 100 orcs. Okay. I don't know if that's 100 or not. But let's go ahead and do that. This is a good size. Like, yeah, we're at 2x zoom, so at 1x zoom, like this shit's so small it's really kind of uncomfortable. But 2x is not bad. So I'm gonna press right, and then we're gonna have to wait for every orc to make its turn. Now you notice, because they were randomly placed, the order of their placement is based on a sequential integer. So if the first orc is placed on the far right, and the second orc is placed on the far left, and then the third is placed at the top, then that's the order that they're going to move in. So, as you can see, this takes a long fucking time. And we can actually watch whose turn it is in the entity turn counter on the debug panel. So when this swings back around, the flag is going to toggle over to the player input phase. So now it's my turn again. So I'm going to press down. And we got to wait for all of those entities to take their turn again. So this kind of sucks, right? Like, this is an actual real problem that we have to figure out how to deal with. Because as we start adding more and more, like, dudes, shit's gonna get, like, real crazy, right? So, how do we solve this? A very naive solution that I came up with is to toggle the animation speed depending upon whether or not it's the player's turn or the enemy's turn. And we can get more complicated with this by doing things like getting how many entities are on the screen, because it might be tolerable, like, to have a low number of entities and wait for each one of them to take their turn. Like, that might not be too bad if it's like a small number, but even 10 feels really slow. So attempting to toggle the animation speed to 1 results in something that's a bit more measured, but the resulting movement of the sprites is a little bit cracked out. And I'll show you what I mean. So you can see now, because the animation speed is jacked up, and it finished quickly, right? But we still have to wait a long time. And the game is locked during the waiting period. Now, it might actually be tolerable if we have something else that they're able to do or look at or interact with, like a menu screen or something, for that, those few moments that you have to wait for all the entities to make their turn. But it still doesn't feel right. Like, there's still a significant amount of waiting that we have to do. It just takes a long time for that many entities to actually act out their their turn. Now, in the old solution, the one that led to the bug that I had to figure out how to fix, everybody moving at the same time felt good. But if during, like, you know, everybody processing their turn, I'm just thinking this out loud now. For instance, let's say you have five entities that all decide to walk, but then you have one entity that gets hit or decides to hit another entity. I'm thinking, you done? If this functionally changes much, I'm just autistic or something. Check chat. The ugly 2D. What do you mean ugly? Get the fuck out of here with that ugly shit. What's up, Adam? How you doing? Hey, ugly motherfucker, shut the fuck up. Bitch ass mom is ugly. Okay, let's take a look at this. Alright, so we have several places where we set the game state flag. This is a passover from with logic, so like after a logical turn is completed, we need to signal to the rendering engine what phase of the animation process are we currently in. Currently, there are only two actions: move and attack. At the places in attack where we actually return from the function, we have a series of if statements. If the attacker is the player, then of course we switch to player animation phase. And I'm sure that there's a way for us to consolidate a lot of this, and we'll probably do that. If the attacker was the NPC, move into the NPC animation phase. And otherwise we move into none. Now at the moment we're not testing enemy attacking, so we could probably ignore a lot of this. Try entity move we are extensively using at the moment, so we need to lock this one down. Oh, here we are. Do update. What I want to do is introduce like a third state, or it would be technically a fifth one. So my dog is telling me it's bedtime, but I gotta finish thinking this through. I'll go ahead and take my melatonin. Why not? I need to re-up on this stuff too. Technically, this would be handle NPC. Let's see. Handle NPC. All right, so that seems to work. All right, so we need to feed some stuff to the LLM. You really gonna try and make me stop right now? read some of this. Oh. I'm just now checking the chat. Uh, yeah, well, not just making games, but making any software, making anything. Applying your knowledge is a very great way to test yourself, to see if you really understand how something works. You work with Golang. You're an intern, but you want to take C or C++ to make games to deepen your knowledge and to improve as a dev. Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, if you're working with Golang already, I assume that you're possibly doing some back end web development type stuff, and that's going to be more like immediately useful for like improving your career pathway. But I don't want to discourage you from picking up C or C++. I just don't think it's as useful in the job market in 2025 as I would like it to be even. I think they do some C++ in Unreal 3D. So maybe like, you know, there's a small subsection of the game industry where C++ is immediately useful in that domain. It's not useful in the same way that it was in like 1995 when I was first like looking at it when I was like 9 years old, right? But yeah. Okay, so Grok just shat out a whole bunch of stuff here. Hold on. Recap. I think anyone should learn C or C++, but the way that I'm making games is rather esoteric in comparison to what a lot of people would actually recommend you do. I think you should follow your heart. You should do what you want to do. There's reasons to do things and there's reasons not to do things. I've dabbled with a little bit of Go, and I've dabbled with even less Rust. And one of these two languages doesn't make me want to fucking shoot myself in the head. I'll let you guess which one that is. I'll give you a hint. Go doesn't make me want to kill myself. Like, oh my god, I can appreciate what the Rust people are doing and trying to do, but maybe I'm just too old to learn new tricks, ways of doing things, but lifetimes and cycles and having to unwrap shit, and god, the fucking syntax. Syntax is so... Oh my god, you know what? Go is really nice for the syntax for this reason. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, you know, when I first sat down with Go, I was already using Copilot. This was like 2 years ago. I've been on the Copilot train for a while. And yeah, Go is cute. Like, I've been able to shit out some stuff rather quickly. But you know what's kind of a tragedy is that one of the things I ran into with Go, and I'm sure that they may have fixed this at this point. Like, I ran into this bug like a year and a half ago, maybe at this point. where I was doing some web scraping and I needed multiple threads, and Go is just so nice for being able to launch threads. So I was able to like bot up scraping all this data fucking easy as shit. And I ran into this problem though, where I like, you know how handling fucking TLS certificates is a pain in the fucking ass? I mean, if you work in backend, you gotta know this. I mean, if you're an intern, I don't know how often you've run into like certificate errors due to like expired certificates, or like, you know, version 1.2 versus version 1.3, blah blah blah. And there was a bug in one of the Go like SSL handling thingies, and the only way I was able to overcome it was by rewriting the same program in C and using libcurl and libpthread. So you know what? Maybe you should pick up some C. Like, real talk, I think C is going to make a massive comeback in a big way. And in fact, we wouldn't have any of the shit that we have today without C programming language. So I don't see why you shouldn't pick it up. Like, if you're trying to get a job immediately, it may not be the best stepping stone, but if you are looking to really understand computers and programming in general and building software and all of the stuff that exists today, you should pick up C. And you should also pick up enough C++. I don't recommend picking up the whole thing. Go is cute. I agree. I don't know Go well enough to make anything of like significant consequence, but I can appreciate people who have spent the time to get into it. But with all of the tooling and the directions that we're heading in now, who knows what programming is going to be like years from now. Like, shit's going to be crazy. So we're talking about adding a new flag in order to make the game like a little bit faster. Not in the processing department, but like the way that we're handling all of the enemy turns. The single function that processes. But it uses C++. Well, you can't have C++ without C. So there you go. But one thing I think is really interesting about the way that Go builds is everything it builds is statically linked, which there is kind of an interesting debate on what's better, dynamic linking or static linking. And I think a lot of it is really use case specific. For instance, I'm using hot reloading, in other words, dynamic libraries with my own game in order to handle hot reloading of both the renderer as well as the game logic. DSA. I'm not familiar with what DSA is. NPCs. Oh yeah. Um, if you have any questions on that stuff, I'd be happy to provide some guidance. I kind of have some insights on that. I've actually tutored and done a lot of that stuff. I mean, not only for my university, but also as a freelancer. Yeah, I've actually, people have paid me to explain those topics to them and help them out with their homework and kind of like be a pair programmer while they're going through computer science degree programs. I got my degree a long time ago, so if you ever need help, we can talk. I eat that shit for breakfast. I can't tell you how many times I've manually implemented a linked list. It's a really good practice, though. And you really need to do that first before you do, well, it depends on how you approach trees, right? Because, yeah, you can rearrange the items in an array to be in a tree structure, but that's different from, like, traversing a data structure where you have nodes that have left and right children, and at the bottom of this tree you have these things called leaf nodes that their particular left and right pointers don't point to anything. This is why they're called leaves, because they're at the bottom of the tree. One of my favorite data structures is something called an abstract syntax tree. It's like a binary tree, but it's used in compilers and interpreters in order to represent a whole ass program. So whenever you write a program, when it gets read in and fed into a compiler, first it gets scanned in and broken down into a sequence of tokens. These tokens are then thrown into a parser that interprets the structure of the tokens and then generates an abstract syntax tree. This abstract syntax tree is a object representation of your program that can be walked through from beginning to end and hit all of the points in a way where if you were to draw it out, it would look like a tree, just like a binary tree, but like with nodes that may have multiple or different or unique features, all designed to represent components of the structure of the language that you're working in. Fun times, fun times. I did some research in compilers briefly, and I enjoyed it while I was in university a long time ago. I'm an old man in comparison to you kids. But I am an old man with wisdom sometimes. So feel free to stick around and see what we can learn together. So let's see. In game dev, you use what, binary search? I mean, it all depends on the kind of game that you're making too. Like, you're absolutely going to need to know data structures and algorithms in order to manage any sort of game world. Actually, the most important data structure that I've found for working with games, I'll show it to you right now. This is one I implemented from scratch. This is a hash table, or in other languages, this is called a dictionary or a map. But if you're learning it in C, you'll often learn it as a hash table. Yeah, that's what I mean. Data structures and algorithms, you absolutely need to know all that stuff. So this is a hash table designed to correlate the entity as an object which every entity in the game has an ID, which is just an integer. And that's our key into the dictionary or the hash table. And the pointer is here, the sprite group, is a custom object I wrote. It's yet another custom object representing one or more sprites belonging to an individual entity. So this data structure is a hash table that basically, if you start looping through all of the different entities, so as an example, let me boot the game up again. So oops. Why did a sprite pop up? So every one of these dudes has an entity ID, and there's a correlation between that entity ID and the sprites that are on the screen, right? So everything's in idle state at the moment, but like let me slow down animation just for a moment. Like 40. Yeah, that'll be fun. Wow, why does a sprite keep opening? That's crazy. So let's take the human and the orcs, right? They all have a number of different sprites on the sprite group. It's so the sprite group is a custom object representing multiple sprites. So each entity can have multiple sprites. So depending on the state of the entity, depends on which sprite needs to be selected for like representing the logic. You know, it's like, one-to-one, it's like Plato's, world of ideals and world of realities. It's like you have the entity object in memory in the logical part of the game, and then you have the visual representation of the entity, which is the sprite and the sprite group. So the whole reason I wanted to throw that at you and throw this at you. So we got this sprite group, and like I said, sprite group consists of one or more sprites. So we have a double pointer to sprites here. And even the sprite itself is an object. Or struct. I call everything objects because I got like my OOP, chops in Java, but I still love C. And basically a struct is, pretty goddamn close to a fucking object or a class. So we have a sprite group consisting of one or more sprites. That sits inside the hash table. And so, as a result of that, we are able to look up the hero's sprite. I slowed the animation down for the hero's turn so that you could just kind of get a sense of each frame of animation, so it's not playing too quickly. But as soon as I press right, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's one thing to run out there and say, oh, I'm going to make a game and then put it out on like Unity, or you slap a bunch of stuff together using one of these big name IDEs or something like this. And if you have a vision ahead of time and you're really in the midst of that, then that's really a good idea to get good with those tools. But from the outset, a lot of my vision has been with constructing systems purely in code, and really building things from the ground up, trying to take as much ownership over the stack as possible, which is certainly a longer pathway. But with the given tooling that we have, I don't see why I can't do it. Especially where we're at now. It's probably a good time for me to take a break for tonight, so before I go, you're welcome. Welcome to the channel. Appreciate you joining. I wish more people like you wanted to talk about this stuff, because I'm gonna have to start doing it again anyway. And if I can reach a big audience, like I've actually gotten paid to do one-on-ones for a long time. It's been actually a majority of my adult career at this point, but I've wanted to scale it up for a long time. A lot of my cohorts on the internet like to talk shit because they're not teachers, and they don't really get off on going over the basics, but I kind of like it. I think there's something to be said about sharpening the sword, if you catch my drift. So I do have a Discord server. It is not very active. I suppose I should possibly consider making that a thing again. If you hang around, or like, I'm not doing it right now or tonight, but I'll get you a link if you want to reach out to me on X, or if you shoot me a message on YouTube. I don't know if you can do that on YouTube anyway. Wow. That's flattering. Thank you. Yeah, I got on the Raylib train at the right time. It's a good engine. The industry needs competition. For far too long, the tech monoliths have held dominance over the structure of our world. Soon, the small shall rise and topple the tyrants. I should hope anyway. All right. What are we doing tomorrow? So maybe not tomorrow. I need to like pace this out and like it was very difficult to get any time in to do anything today. Holy fuck. I'm lucky when I'm able to get it in right now in a very smooth fashion, but few and far between. Moving into a new place soon. Looking forward to getting a lot more control over my ebb and flow. And with all of that greater clarity and control over my time, I should hopefully get bored. That would be kind of nice. Because we got a lot of shit to do here. Okay. All right, y'all. I think this thing right here is fucking sick. And this is a good way for us to do the outro. Oh no. We're burning. Ah.